Hi, my name is John Macias, and I was born and raised in Miami, Florida. My father is Cuban, and my mom is Costa Rican. I grew up to the smell of fabuloso on the weekends as my mom cleaned the house to the music of Jose Jose, and my dad bringing home freshly baked Cuban bread with a side of croquetas for breakfast. I grew up with a good sense of Hispanic identity, but for others, I know it may not be so clear. I've had the experience of knowing two ends of a spectrum when it comes to being Hispanic and Latino. I have a friend who was born to Cuban parents. She was raised in Miami the same way I was, and years later, she doesn't embrace her heritage. She barely speaks Spanish, she is involved more in white culture, and goes against the best interests of her own community. On the other side, I have another friend who does not have any Hispanic or Latino lineage, but as a child, she was taken in by a family who was. She was raised under Hispanic culture and embraces it fully. She speaks the language, she eats more rice and beans than I do, and she advocates towards issues that are faced by Hispanic and Latino people. So I ask myself and I ask all of you, what does it mean to be Hispanic and Latino? When I think of what it means to be Hispanic and Latino, I think of characteristics that include your lineage, culture, and embracing that culture as some of the factors that come to mind. But to some individuals, being Hispanic or Latino isn't so black and white. Physically, you can be dark-skinned, light-skinned, mulatto, or you can even have all white skin. You can have both of your parents be Hispanic, or you could just have one. Countries such as Mexico has holidays like Dia de los Muertos. Cuba has Jose Marti's birthday memorial, and it seems that every Hispanic and Latin country has a different day to celebrate Mother's Day. Every country has its own customs, traditions that are all equally and powerfully Hispanic and Latino. Miami, or the 305, is home to me. Physically and culturally, it embodies the melting pot of different Hispanic and Latin backgrounds that makes South Florida a world of its own. I was raised in a city that everyone either looked like me, or we had so many cultural similarities that we were practically family. But what if you don't necessarily fit into all these categories? Or what if you do, and either you don't care enough about them, or you just deny them entirely? Being Hispanic and Latino, we were raised with different yet similar music, foods, holidays, dancing, styles, and so much more. Being able to embody these different elements through various cultures within Hispanic and Latin culture is an important aspect that involves a sense of pride and respect. My friend, who has no Hispanic or Latin heritage, embodies the spirit and respect for the Hispanic and Latin community more than my other friend who denies the culture but has Cuban immigrant parents. It's very conflicting because the line isn't black and white in this case. Being inherently Cuban may make you Hispanic, but I believe carrying over the respect, history, and pride is equally as important. Being Hispanic and Latino goes beyond the physical aspect of culture, but calls for the attitude to embrace and accept the music, food, fashion, and so much more that makes our community ours. I believe while you do not need to embrace every aspect of every culture within the Hispanic and Latin community, you do need to embrace it. When you do, you are encouraging the strength and importance of your culture that will carry over generations to come.